The sports betting world is an absolute titan, raking in billions of dollars every single year. But behind all the buzzer beaters and nail-biting finishes, it's a business that runs on pure, cold, hard data. So, let's crack open the playbook and see the exact metrics these companies used to make sure the house almost always comes out on top.
So how do they actually pull it off? You might think it's all about luck or just having clever odds makers, but the real secret, every single successful sportsbook operates less like a bookie and more like a high-tech command center, staring at a dashboard of critical numbers.
I mean, seriously, picture a mission control room, but instead of tracking rockets, they're tracking every single bet and every single player in real time. This dashboard of key performance indicators, or KPIs as they call them, isn't just a bunch of numbers. No, these are the live, beating heart vital signs of the entire business.
And on any dashboard, what's the first thing you look at? The money. Welcome to the financial scoreboard. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty, tracking the cold, hard cash that tells us if the whole operation is healthy or not.
The biggest, most important number they watch is GGR, or gross gaming revenue. The easiest way to think about it is this. It's all the money that comes in from players' bets, minus all the money that goes back out as winnings. It's basically the total pot before they pay for anything else.
But hold on, GGR doesn't really tell the full story, and that's where its little brother, NGR, or net gaming revenue, comes into play. If GGR is like a movie's total box office gross, NGR is what the studio actually takes home. It's the number you get after you subtract all the costs of doing business. All those sign-up bonuses, promotions, and of course, taxes. NGR, that's the real bottom line.
Okay, so we've got the big picture of revenue, but what about the individual players? How much is each person actually worth? Well, that's where ARPU comes in. Average revenue per user tells an operator exactly how much money, on average, they're making from each customer, usually over a month or a year. And let me tell you, tracking ARPU is absolutely critical. It's like having a superpower. It lets an operator instantly spot their VIPs, the big spenders. It helps them tweak their odds just right to maximize profits. And it tells them exactly which customers might need a little nudge, like a special offer, to keep them happy and betting. It's the key to everything.
All right, so tracking profits is one thing, but you can't have profits without players. That brings us to the next module on our dashboard, and this one is all about winning over the fans. How do you get new bettors in the door? And just as importantly, how do you make them stick around?
You see all those ads, right? The get $100 free bet offers? Well, getting the new player to sign up and drop a deposit is not free for the sportsbook. That cost has a name, CPA, or cost per acquisition. It's pretty simple. They take all their marketing spend and divide it by the number of new customers they got. It's literally the price tag on a new player.
Okay, so once you've paid that price to get a customer, you really want to know what they're worth to you in the long run. And for that, you look at the customer lifetime value, or CLV. This is like the sportsbook's crystal ball. It's a projection of the total profit they expect to make from one person over their entire time on the platform.
In this right here, this is the whole game. It's the fundamental formula for the entire industry. You spend money up front, that's your CPA, to get someone signed up. Let's say that costs you $100. The whole point is to make sure their lifetime value, what they'll bring in over time, is way higher. If their CLV is, say, $500, you've got a winning formula.
But of course, there's a dark side to this equation. What about the people who sign up, play a little, and then just leave? That is measured by the churn rate. It's the leaky bucket metric. It tells you exactly what percentage of your players are heading for the exit.
At a high churn rate isn't just a red flag. It is a blaring 5-alarm fire on the dashboard. It screams that something is wrong. Maybe your odds aren't great. Maybe the app is frustrating to use. Who knows? But a high churn rate absolutely demolishes your customer lifetime value and turns that initial CPA you paid into a total loss.
So, we know how they get players and how they track if they're leaving. Now for the fun part. Let's look at what people are actually doing once they're on the platform. This section of the dashboard is all about player activity.
Now the biggest, flashiest number here is the handle. You hear about this one on the news all the time. It's just the total, raw, absolute amount of money wagered by everybody. It's the #1 measure of sheer betting volume. But here's the thing, and this is super important. A huge handle is great for headlines, but it can be what we call a vanity metric. It proves a ton of people are playing, for sure, but it tells you absolutely nothing about whether the sportsbook is actually making money. You can have a billion-dollar handle and still be deep in the red.
So this is where the real magic number comes in,
The hold percentage. If the handle is all sizzle, the hold is the stake. It's the percentage of that giant handle that the house actually keeps as revenue after all the winning bets are paid out. Usually it's around 5 to 7%. This little number is the ultimate report card on how good a bookie's odds really are.
Operators are also obsessed with how people are betting, not just how much. And the biggest trend, by far, is in-play, or live betting. You know, placing wagers while the game is literally happening. Seeing a huge chunk of bets coming from in-play tells operators to pour their resources into the tech that makes those real-time thrills possible.
So, what's powering this whole complex dashboard? I can promise you it's not a guy with a pen and a piece of paper. Let's pull back the curtain just a little bit on the incredible tech that makes this whole data-driven machine actually work.
And here it is. Let's put it all together. Think of this as the ultimate cheat sheet for a sportsbook operator. It's a quick summary of everything we've just talked about, the key financial numbers, the customer metrics, and the engagement stats. This is the playbook, all on one page.
And the engine driving all of this isn't just a fancy spreadsheet. We're talking about some seriously sophisticated AI and machine learning. These systems can predict which player might be about to leave and automatically send them a personalized bonus. They can adjust live betting odds in milliseconds based on thousands of things happening in the game. It's all about making smart, data-driven decisions faster than any human possibly could. Which kind of leaves us with one final thought. For us, the players, it feels like a game of chance, of instinct, of skill. But for the sportsbook, it's a cold, calculated game of data science and risk management. So it makes you wonder, in the end, is the real winner the person who picks the right team or the one who has truly mastered the math?